What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be doing a quick video on how to properly set pitch correction in Logic Pro X. Now the session that I'm using is really gnarly, so keep that in mind, and that's purposeful because I want to show the worst case scenario, me working on a session, not someone who already sings in key, just so you kind of get the benefit of me working in one of the worst case scenarios. This will kind of require you to know music theory, but at the same time not, because all you have to do is, if you don't know what keys look like, just search up major scale or minor scale, play through those notes or something. If you already know your key, you probably shouldn't even be looking at this video because you can set your pitch correction correctly. To set my key, all I did was play the instrumental that I was sent. This was a session that was emailed to me. This is a beat off this is just a beat from YouTube. This man just ripped it, you can kind of tell, but I mean everyone does that. So I played that. I opened up a software instrument, the default patch, and I just played through the piano until I found a key that matched it. Fuck. So that just happens to be E minor. Now it probably won't be that easy for you if you're just not very familiar. So what I'd suggest doing, first of all, if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, just hit Command K. You'll get a keyboard. So what I'd suggest doing is just hitting each note and just kind of seeing if you find one note that kind of goes with the whole song. In this case it'd be E, so it'd be so then I'd try E major, and if E major doesn't work, try E natural minor. So in this case, I figured out the scale, so we don't have to do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna play you this song without pitch correction and let you kind of get a taste for what we're working with. What I usually do is, once I figured out that it is the key that I'm in, I make sure that I pull my response down into taste. If you want it to be less apparent that you're auto-tuning, if you want it to be less drastic, keep it in slow. And then if you want it to sound like T-Pain or Travis Scott, throw it down to fast. But yeah, if you have a low voice, the algorithm might not properly auto-tune your voice. So what I suggest doing is changing the range to low. My voice would only sound auto-tuned if I change the range to low. It only auto-tune my voice well if I change that setting. If I don't change that setting, it doesn't turn out very well. So make sure you keep that in mind. That's how you properly set pitch correction in Logic Pro X. Now that I've kind of gone over the basics of Autotune in the plugin, I'm going to go through a more advanced version of Autotuning in Logic Pro X. Now that I've done the more basic Autotuning that you can do as an insert in Logic Pro X, I'm going to kind of go through what you can do with flex pitch in Logic Pro X to get a very, very precise Autotuning. Kind of something like Melodyne, if you're familiar with it, where you can take each individual note, chop it up, and tune it separately, or tune it, make sure it fits a certain scale. Now in order to do that, you're going to want to go up to the top of this toolbar and hit flex time. You're going to want to enable flex on your track, and then I'm going to double click just so I get it in a different window, and here you go. After you've got this window open, just remember the scale that you used in your pitch correction plugin and go ahead and set it right here. I just did E natural minor, hit Command All in this little window, and then hit scale quantize right here. Alright, so once you've quantized your notes to the scale, it might sound more robotic, but it's just something to keep in mind. See, that note sounds a lot better now, but I actually know that the note he was going for was supposed to be that D. So see, you can do that very precise editing. So let's say it's just one note that's not really good working on your pitch correction plugin, then you don't have to worry about fixing your pitch correction plugin because everything else sounds fine. You can just target that one little note. That moment where I told you to hit Command A to select all the notes, you don't have to do that. You can just select the note that you need to. And another little thing you could do is if you hit Command A and go to this bottom middle circle right here it's just labeled vibrato, you can reduce the amount of vibrato by bringing it down to a lower note, maybe like 50. It's going to make everything smoother. It'll also kind of make transitions feel a little more robotic, so keep that in mind. All right, well, that's all I really have to show you about Autotune and Logic Pro X. You can get a lot more in depth with it, but it's all just a matter of playing around and specific cases of needing to. All right, well, that's all I really have for you today about autotuning in Logic Pro X. Everything is situational, so this might not exactly meet what you're looking for or what you need to do for every song, but it's definitely a good place to start. The precise auto-tunings for the more situational stuff and the more controlling pitch correction, and if you want a more loose approach to pitch correction, if you only just want the desired effect, the sound, you can go ahead and throw on the plugin, make sure you get the key, and that's it. Until next time.